it's a accelerator marketing course that Atena did probably last year. That course right there changed everything for me, and it could change everything for you. I couldn't go somewhere without seeing Atena did this, Atena did that. She was omnipresent. And she even talks about that in the marketing course, like omnipresent, be everywhere. And with the tools that you have, you can do this quickly.
Okay, let's introduce Deb. And all right, so from hustling solo to building a mini X AI for entrepreneurs. So who heard of the X? Like when you hear the word X, who do you associate with? Just put it in the chat. X, the word X by itself. Guys,
Elon
put
Musk,
Elon
for
Musk,
sure.
of course. So Deborah is the Elon Musk of AI, right? This is a formula that she created and I absolutely love it. So she called it XAI for entrepreneurs. So Deb is a former burnout. She can go through her life story about how it all started. A former burnout solopreneur who turned the struggle into strategy. But she didn't just survive the small business chaos, you know. When we are a small business owner, all we're thinking about is surviving. But she systemized it. So she built her own version of the Elon Musk XAI for the everyday entrepreneur. Not the theory, not the hype. She engineered the AI powered automation that do the hard stuff from lead generation to follow up to closing the sales and free up the time. So her business now, it runs while she sleeps. Who wants to have a business here that runs while you sleep? That would be absolute dream for any entrepreneur. And she created this Fierce Prono program that she does the same. So with the Hair Fierce program, Fierce Pronafright program that she created with the XAI formula, she basically audit the businesses. She created custom AI automation for them, a built-in system that basically take care of your lead
Okay.
generation, lead nurturing, and converting the lead with the zero as a guesswork and the 24/7 growth engine. So she's got a lot of the success stories with her client also that her clients double their revenue and work a lot less fewer hours and they stop operating and start owning. So this is basically the shortcut to clarity, cash flow, and the calm. Introducing Deborah Spence. Thank you, Deborah, for being with us today. Stage
Absolutely.
is yours.
All right, thank you. Well, good afternoon, good folks, and maybe good morning in some parts of the world. Antenna is worldwide, so you never know where someone is logging in from, like 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m. So here I am in the US and it is about 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm in my she shed. This is something I built so I can have my space to focus on my work. And it's something about building something from dirt. Like this was literally a dirt patch, not even grass on it. And my mom-in-law had passed away, and I wanted to do something not only to remember her, right, but to be busy, right? So my mom-in-law passed, my mom died, and I wanted to be busy so that you're not sitting around thinking about sadness and depression and hurt. And I got busy building this shed, and
Come in.
it's like
Okay.
glass. It's it has the roof that's like open. It's think I could show you. You see that? Isn't that gorgeous? Right? So anyway, from building that, right, when I realized that there was nothing here and I can build this, I knew that in my heart, if I can see something and I can believe it in my heart, it will come into existence. And my life has not been an easy journey. I've had some hardships from being born the youngest of seven. My mom did the best that she could. My parents, I believe they loved each other, but they got married too young, had too many kids, and not enough money. And so, because of that, it wasn't an easy road. It's very difficult. But by the grace of God, or some say the universe, I went to university. I studied hard, but even then, after that, having a degree, it's not easy. You think, okay, I had a degree, and the world opens up, and everything is great, and you can do it. No, it's not like that. So it's been a roller coaster ride. And last year, I was in AIpreneurs in the free program, and I realized that I'm almost there, right, to this six-figure number I wanted to reach, and I had a lot of information, but I needed this one step, how to prompt AI, right? How to use it for marketing, how to use it to build my business. And from there, I was accepted into the accelerator marketing program. And I spent 7 days with very little sleep, just focusing on learning how to use AI for marketing of my coaching program. Coaching program. Get it out, Deb. My coaching program is real estate coaching. I help real estate agents go from no listings to two listings. I do have a real estate brokerage. I started my brokerage many years ago, and in the process of starting my brokerage and trying to get new agents to sign up, I realized that I had to do training. You have to teach people how to get business, how to get listings. That's what we call when a house goes on the market, we call it a listing. And so in that process, I said, I can teach nationwide. I don't have to be only in my state, PA. And as I was building this program, I used Meta ads, and Meta ads are really expensive, and it just wiped out my account in November. I'm like, oh my goodness, like how do I keep going without my ads? And that's when I stumbled upon AIpreneurs, and someone, a tenor was winning the Skool games in November, and there was somebody in the Skool community that was just bragging about her. Like they were really just going on and on and on about how great this program was. And I didn't join the Black Friday sale. The next month, I realized that she had upped the price. Like, what is wrong with her? To like 10,000, 15,000, some crazy price. And I'm like, woman, why couldn't you keep it at the 997? But it was a Black Friday deal, and it was closed. And she was focused on, doing fulfillment for all of her clients. And I was out of luck. But I wanted in, I got resourceful, I got in, and I spent the 7 days just banging away, learning on one computer. I have two computers. I have, matter of fact, I have three. Learning on one, banging away on the other, and building. Learning, banging away, building. And I did that for 7 days. And the results, I can tell you, was incredible. So incredible that I was able to join the paid program and get into the lab and really dig deeper into getting more clients. By then, I built a client base. I had a training that I was getting ready to do in February, and I needed to get more information so that I could be able to deliver this program at a higher level, serve the clients that I had at a higher level, increase and grow my Skool community at a higher level. And I was able to do that with getting inside of the lab and taking the accelerated course. And so what I created was a website in a couple of days, maybe two, maybe even less, two sales funnels, and a workflow that is endless. It goes on for maybe a year or more. And in a minute, I'll share my screen and I'll show you how it looks. And then from there, what I realized is that when I created the workflow, which is the automation inside Go High Level, that's what I used, because guess what? Atena was training on that in the accelerator about Go High Level. She's doing it, I'm doing it, right? Just model successful people, do what they're doing, I'm doing it. So I did it, Go High Level, created this automation that goes on for maybe a year or more. And in the process of doing that, right? Atena said it in the beginning, when you have this energy, right? This feeling of, I can continue on, I can keep doing this. I don't care about hardships. I don't care about the past. I'm only looking towards the future. Then that attraction of good things start to come. Not only did I get those clients in within those 7 days, but then I started to get people call me out of the blue. People I met years ago. Deb, list my house for you. No, by the way, it's a commission of like 20K. Oh, Deb, help me buy a house. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at $1 million properties. So all of that came into fruition while I was building this workflow, because people were getting my emails, they were getting my SMS, they were getting my voice drops, and they hadn't heard from me in a long time. And just that simple one thing of follow up, reaching out to your database, changed everything for me. And it changed in a big way that I went from scraping and sad that I couldn't get into, a 997 program to hitting 57x within a matter of weeks. And then, the craziness began. Like, you really have to deliver at that point. My calendar from 7 a.m. in the morning to 10 at night is filled with people wanting me to either help them with their investor funnel or their real estate coaching funnel. And now even branched out even bigger, like dreaming bigger. Because if I can turn around my small business, my real estate brokerage, my one woman shop into something that is so dynamic and so huge, then I can do it for other small business owners that are making 5 million, but their profit margin is really tight and they don't have any wiggle room. They may make 5 million, but bring home 50K at the end of the year. So if I can show them with automation and AI, they can increase their profit margin, automate, and use AI to eliminate some of those biggest headaches that they have. So I will fly out anywhere. I will go anywhere and spend a few hours with the entrepreneur and fix their biggest headache for free, right? That's my lead magnet. Doing something to fix their biggest headache for free. It could be building an email workflow. It could be, building an AI agent. And it doesn't matter what it is. If I can do it, I'll do it for free, show my value, and then obviously I want them to hire me as I spend a few hours at their business grinding it away, but showing them my value and also getting them to introduce me to other entrepreneurs. And so that is like the fast track story of how I went from zero, probably negative if I start looking at my credit card bills, to like making this 57x within a matter of weeks. And I'll share my screen. I'll just show you some of the things. Like, this is not like, state of the art stuff. I'm talking like regular stuff, like funnel, basic website, nothing really big time. But because I did it, this is what helped me, right? And so this is for investors and real estate agents. They lost their passion. And I did a couple of meta ads to this. It is nothing fancy, right? This right here, this image, I copied from Atena. She has several images like that. If you ever saw her AIpreneurs page, all of this stuff copied from her and just put my put my face on it. And copy the form, learn how to do forms, which in Go High Level, that's a big thing. Got a couple of people to brag about me, like that person I met in the Skool community that's bragging about Atena. Sometimes your clients are your biggest fans and they can endorse you and say so many great things about you. So this guy here says, "Hey, hi Deb, Raj was raving about your meetup, so I joined, look forward to connecting," right? And then Raj goes, "Deborah is amazing. I love that. I am super duper. And I can't wait for the next session. Definitely supporting her in the meetups," right? And so I just put this on the top. I get, whew, maybe 100 people signing up a day for this to go to the mastermind. That's a recorded mastermind, by the way. I don't even show up live. And Atena goes, she's like, "Well, you tell them it's recorded?" I was like, "They don't show up. They just watch the recording and that's it." And then this is the basic website. Nothing crazy, right? Something very simple. It's exactly the snapshot. If you know anything about snapshot, maybe saying something that you didn't get up to yet in your training, but snapshot is something that you can use and Go High Level, and you can import it into your system and create it, make it your own. I made it my own. This is exactly what Atena had used. I made it my own, and using really just images again from what Atena shared in her community is my Raven clients. And I grabbed from my social media and grabbed the ones that were talking about me, like this woman. She's really giving me an awesome review. This, I went out to California and met her. And ebook that's only on here, not even on Amazon, but people can download it for $1. Not a big deal, nothing fancy, but hey, I get a lot of leads from it. And this is similar. I just copied the other funnel. This one is for investors. Same thing. I just copied the same thing. And it's not even that really pretty, but guess what? I get a ton of leads and a ton of appointment books off of this. And then this is the most recent one. I realized that I can help small business owners. So I created a funnel for fiercepreneurs, and it's a video of me talking about fiercepreneurs, and I give them like the roadmap. This is step one, step two, step three, step four, and images again that I created from using a template from Atena. Nothing. I'm not a graphic designer. I don't do any of that stuff. I just copy, I model, just like the concept of doing funnels, model someone that's already successful, learning from someone that's already successful. That's what I do, and it's working, and it got me to this point, and I know I will go a lot further because I really don't overthink it. I just follow the plan. And then this goes on, some images right here, AI created that on AI. And then it's like an application right here. You want to try and find out at this point if you're going to fly to someone and you're spending a few days in their office. You want to make sure that they're willing to invest in their business and they're interested in looking for a solution. And so that's what did it. This is really, it doesn't have to be a, Deb talks all the time and you all listen. I want it to be interactive, like come hit me with some questions so I can explain some more about how I did this. Sorry, I'm just gonna plug in my laptop. Or this is, we have shy folks. You have
I'll jump
questions?
in. I had a question for you, actually. Um,
Sure.
I joined about what 3 or 4 weeks ago, as I was saying at the beginning. I'm super impressed. I just dug in for 7 days. Can you kind of tell me how that was? I'm feeling jealous and a little bit naive for not having done the same thing. But where did you dig into? And if you have any tips to like, you know,
Sure.
fast track
Sure.
it.
Fast Track It is the AI Preneurs Accelerator course. It's a accelerator marketing. Is Tatiana on here? I think maybe she can pull it up. Well, probably
Yes,
not
I'm
yet, but
here.
when she
I'll
comes,
find it.
Drop the link. Yeah.
okay,
Uh,
yeah, someone could put the link in there. Yeah, it's a accelerator marketing course that Atena did probably last year, and that one, I tell you, if that's the only thing she ever sold, it would be great because that course right there changed everything for me, and it could change everything for you. What you really have to do is go through the entire thing the way I did it and the way Atena teaches in the trainings. One computer here, watch, pause, and then do it, right? Knock it out, do it. And then watch and then do it. And you'll get so addicted to it, you'll start seeing results immediately, right? I started creating one of the trainings in there is Sub Magic, where you can chop up your videos into these 15-minute, 30-minute clips and post it to social media. It's sort of like a Hormozy vibe to it, and it has the really big captions across. And so my videos were like awful, like before, like really terrible. And so when I came across this, I'm like, okay, I'm pulling all of the videos that I've created over the years and I'm chopping them up. And so I began just chopping them up and then posting them right away. And while I was doing that, someone saw one of the videos and called me and said, "Deb, I need you to come over. I hire you, right?" And it was easy as that. And then when I saw like, okay, you have to do the automation so that you can start following up with your database. And even if you only had a few, you have to communicate with them. And honestly, just like in that image I created, most of us, right, are human, and we wake up in the morning, we spin around in circles, we pull out fires from our emails, and by the end of the day, we're like, what the heck did I get done today, right? Because that human element of us is distracted by so many things. If it's not email, you're distracted by social media or your family or the pet, the dog, somebody wants to go out and someone wants to come in. My son, he's texting me all the time with, my tire and all of this stuff. And by the end of the day, I'm like, I can't like focus. But guess what? The automations that I set up for those 7 days, they're still working. And I want to show you. But go ahead on. Did I answer your question?
You
I
did,
get
you
so
did.
excited. So if I didn't answer
Thank
it,
you.
I will try it again.
No, you're great. You're great. That was really good. I'm going to dive in, as like you said, step by step.
Yeah, you got to go step by step. You have to become like really obsessed with trying to make things work, And obviously in the beginning you make a lot of mistakes and break things, and it may not work um properly, like the automation or the video may look weird or whatever, but don't worry about perfection. Good thing about me, I don't worry about perfection. I'm more of a doer than someone that just sits and starts to think about what if, my friends laugh at me, what if, you know people say, that looks weird, or what if I send something to somebody that doesn't like me and they send back like, oh, like, I like, so what, I sent you something great, read it, or if I look like I have two heads in a video, all right, sometimes I feel like it. Okay, so I don't worry about any of that, because what most concerns me is being successful. That drives me. I have to do this not only for myself, but for my family. I have to leave a legacy for my family. I don't want the legacy of my family, that Spence name, to be the youngest of seven, poor, had a baby brother die, froze to death because we didn't have heat. We had, like, housing insecurity. I don't want that to be our legacy. I want our legacy to be Deb Spence, the Spence family. They're fiercepreneurs. They made an impact. They changed the way small business and mid-sized businesses um, infrastructure. They changed it around. They created this AI automation thing, and their name is like Xerox for mid-level small business automation. Their name is like, Netflix, right? When you think about streaming, you think about Netflix. When you think about fax machine and all of that, it's like an image of a company. And I want my company, my name, the Spence name, to be that name that people remember long after I'm gone, long after my kids are gone. I want that to be the legacy. Now I may be overreaching, but when you overreach, you get far. No way did I think it was going 57x in those few weeks. I thought, okay, maybe 10K, I'll be okay. But I reached for 100 and I hit 57. And so I'm sorry if I have to admit somebody here. Okay, so I just want to show you, just give you an idea of what the automation looked like, the one that I started out with. I'm continuing to build on it, and I have several of them. Sorry, 1 second. See, I'm not even that great with tech, but guess what? You don't have to be. You really just have, especially with Go High Level. It's very, in my opinion, user friendly. You just have to really click and point. Okay, so here is the automation that I was talking about. That if I go in, right, it just goes on forever, endless. It's on and on and on and on and on, like sending this stuff out once a day, um, maybe twice a day with an SMS, and maybe an SMS and a voice drop. But this goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I'll plan to add to it every 30 days. Um, Sometimes going back and changing something as I grow. I feel like my workflow will grow too, or become better and better and better. As I develop, my workflow will develop, the way I communicate with those that signed up for a mastermind or somehow or another ended up in my workflow. I'm communicating with them, not just trying to sell them, right? So when I think about being successful, not only is it successful so that I can be able to take care of myself and my family, but I think about it also health, right? Health is really important to me. because for many years I was sick, very, very sick, in and out of the hospital. And last year, the beginning of last year, I lost all of my hair. And but I took it in stride. I was sad for a day, and I was like, you know what? Hey, it's okay. I'm just gonna keep moving. But I do believe that health is also important, because if you don't have good health, nothing else you can accomplish. If you're sad, if you're depressed, you can't get out of bed. You're not moving, right? If you have body aches and pains, and all kind of medical problems, you can't move forward because you're just stuck, right? So I want to be able to jump out of the bed every morning and immediately go into flow state, right? And then in the middle of the afternoon, I'm going to take a cold shower for 2 minutes and then extend my flow state for another 3 or 4 hours. I want to be so amped up every day because I have good health. I can do it. So health is one, wealth is the other, but the other thing is also impact, right? I talked about legacy and having it go back when I'm not no longer here. My family is no longer here, and those that are descendants of the Spence name, right? I want to be able to make an impact on my community. I don't just think of it as pulling myself up. I think of impact as pulling up my family and my community. I want I want everyone that encounters me to become a better person and have a better life. And again, that may be a little naive, right? I can be naive at certain times, but I think if I do push that energy out there, it does come back. And I think I will be able to accomplish that. I see some of you on here that I've talked to. Mary, what's going on, girl? How are you? How are things? And I think there's another person on here I chatted up with, just giving some advice. But I think overall, right? Oh, gotta admit someone. You have to think about it like health, wealth, and impact. And that's how I see it anyway. But again, oh, hey, Nicole, I think I talked to you too, right? So come on, hit me with some more questions. Anyone else?
Yes,
We do have a question from sorry,
Julia.
it's my little one. We do have a
That's
question
okay.
from Julia. Julia, if
Yes.
you would like to come on. Yeah.
I'm on. Hi, Deborah. Thank you for doing this. Very inspirational.
Oh, sure. Thank
I
you.
have a question. If you could go dive a little bit deeper into how you go from doing some of the work for free initially, obviously going to people's houses and working their things out, because that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm also running
Okay.
a very cheap, like little beta program to get them in the door.
Good, good.
And then what are the differences of the stuff that you're doing for free versus what are you doing paid for them? Like,
Okay, so I use that free opportunity, to do it for free to get just a testimonial. That's what I did in the beginning anyway. So the idea is not to sell them anything, right? It's just the testimonial is really important, because when you don't have any authority, right? I am not Tony Robbins, okay? I'm not Tom Ferry. That's someone popular as a coach in my industry. Mike Ferry, really popular in my industry. Brian Buffini. These folks have been doing it for decades. And so they have just a name that they can put their name out, do a meta ad, and people flock because they know them from being very successful in real estate coaching. So you have to get endorsed by other folks. And I was able to get endorsed because I was going out, I was flying out to these folks, and I was doing the work for them for free. And they would give me really good testimonials. I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, someone is really setting you up, helping you get up and running, get started for free. The only thing they have to do is record a video and talk about what you did for them. And honest, like, not even pretending, not making stuff up, like seriously, honestly telling what they did, what I did for them. And so that helped with the authority. So then I used those testimonials and I put it on Facebook ads, right? I did the meta ad. So then it's not Deb saying that I'm the greatest since sliced bread. It's, the client saying, Deb did this for me, and I'm so grateful. And it was really good. And they're honestly from their heart telling it, because then they're not getting paid to do it. They got something done and for free. And honestly, they could take what they got for free and run with it and not give back at all. But I overdid it because I wanted the testimonial. And so they gave the testimonial, and then I put it on the meta ad. And then the meta ad, I got folks to come to the funnel. And then that's where I was doing, the helping the realtors with 2 transactions per month. Now with the fiercepreneur, like switching and pivoting and doing it a bigger side of it, doing the small businesses, what I do is make sure that they qualify, right? So they in business? Are they willing to invest in their infrastructure? And if all of that is yes, and you go out and you do it for free, and then you say, hey, I did this for free, I still see the need for this, because you're really going in to do a consultation. You really want to try and figure out where all of the bottlenecks are, right? Why are you not getting this? Why are you not succeeding at this? And you kind of like going like a doctor, who does an exam, they do tests, and they come back with a report and say, either you need further testing or here are the results. And that's how you have to see it, as going in as a doctor trying to diagnose what the problem is. You're only fixing a part of the problem, not the big problem. And so the idea is that, okay, I fixed one part, but you still need this. And this is what I can do. And this is how much the fee is. And if they're willing, if they like what you did, then they'll pay. And if they can't do it, they won't. And you just keep moving on. But eventually it'll all connect and it'll all pay off. All that hard work pays off eventually. Sometimes it happens quickly, and sometimes you have to just give a little bit more in order to get back. Does that make sense, Julia?
Yes, thank you. That clarified it. Thanks.
Okay, great. Do we have any other questions?
I like your logic there, because that's the same idea as the lead magnets, because people struggle. I'm giving away a lot with this lead magnet, but it's solving part of the problem, but obviously not the complete problem. So it's an act of goodwill. You buy good faith that way, and it opens the door. So, but going out and flying to their place is very aggressive, but I guess that's why you got the name. Fierce AI.
Fierce, yeah, fierce. Yeah, you gotta be fierce. Hey, Tammy, what's your question?
So thank you for this. It's nice to see someone that's applied the Go High Level work. I heard about it from someone else last week, and they were talking about Canva now has a bulk carousel option where you can use Canva to create many carousels and do that upload into Go High Level. So you can actually use those to post carousels on LinkedIn for a different type of format than maybe what you have right now. And I haven't played with it yet, and I wasn't sure I wanted to. One of the things that's stopping me, I think, is I like to have my posts be quite current. It worries me that if I'm too outdated. So I'm thinking I want to have a lot of general ones. But for me, especially, I'm talking about AI and operational efficiency in my posts. And I think there are some things that just happen so quickly in the world of AI that I want to talk about it, and having this whole thing scheduled. I don't know if it would work. How easy is it to modify? Have you had any? Is it easy? So you can just
it's super easy. I'll show you my the social media side of it. I can go in and I can plan out the social media, but at any point, if something else is more relevant at the time, I can easily go in and change the date, and I'll show you right now. I'm just trying to be mindful, make sure I don't pull up any of my client stuff. Get really mad at me. Okay, here we go. All right. So this is like the social media side, the social planner in Go High Level. And it's like, you go in here and you can create a post right here, like new post, but I'll just show you this one. So if I want to edit this one and say, hey, you know what, this one is not relevant anymore, you can always delete it, write new copy. You can change, where it's going out to and all of that stuff. So nothing is really set in stone until actually it goes out, right?
Yeah,
But
that seems really easy.
it's really easy to go in and edit and change it. And this one, I think I only have up until the end of June. I'm trying to move this thing over. Ah, okay. Yeah, June 1st. So, I mean, that's only a few more weeks, right? And so there will be many new things that I create for June. I try and do 30 days out. You don't want to go too far out because you don't
Yeah.
want to be, like you said, really dated and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I do with my social media, and it's really easy to go in there and change it. Even in Go High Level, there's a way to if someone responds or comments, like we all may know many chats. Raise your hand if you know many chats. Okay, cool. So Go High Level now has a form of many chats where you can comment on someone's social and it goes right into conversations all in one. And the AI conversation, the AI agent that I create, it can respond back in that conversation. Now it's not perfect, right? Sometimes it'll say stuff that is way like random, like AI, come on. My guy's called Armando. I'm like, Armando, like, what are you doing? What are you saying? That's crazy talk. And then, but I can jump in the conversation and say, disregard, this is the answer to that question. So you kind of have to really stay in tune with this stuff. This AI stuff is not perfect yet, right? It's still all in the making. But I think all of us are definitely ahead of the game with it all. Like 2025 is the year. You're either going to be Blockbuster or, you're going to be Netflix. I don't want to
Yeah.
be Blockbuster because any of you young folks, you ever heard of Blockbuster? They out of business, except for one. I think in California is like a museum. All right, you're next. I can't see your name. The sun is like getting in my eye now.
Alfredo, congratulations, Deborah, on your
Oh,
accomplishment.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
I
I was going to
appreciate it.
ask, do you have any examples of the bottlenecks that you've solved for some of these clients?
Most of it is the workflow, right? Most of it is the email. So you all, if you just create email workflows for these small businesses, they don't have really time to do stuff that they should do. So if you could just create a year or 90 days or even 30 days worth of email follow-ups to their database, that right there you can charge 2-3 grand, you know? So most of them don't have sales funnels, right? Sales funnel, you could charge 2-3 grand, create a sales funnel. It literally, because I didn't know anything, it took me a day. But now I know I can duplicate any of those sales funnels in maybe an hour, have it up and running. So once you create out, and this is something that Atena says a lot, and I truly believe it because I did it for my brokerage. Remember, I said I started creating this workflow and I sent it out. And even though we're talking about coaching stuff, people call me and say, hey, list my house, list my home, help me buy, right? And it was a matter of just they see my name and they're like, oh, Deb's in real estate. Let me call her. And top of mind, right? So top of mind, top of sales. But I would say email workflow is something that's not automated for most folks, or if it is, they're using really crappy like MailChimp or something like that that goes into the spam. I also would say sales funnel. They're not doing sales funnel. Copy. They're not really great with doing copywriting. You can do that. And that right there is big bucks. Let me see what else. Most of that is like some of it is inventory, like for the retail. They don't know how to get the inventory to speak to itself and the abandoned carts, that kind of stuff. They fall off the cliff with that. But if you want to keep it simple, I would just say do a 30-day or 14-day if you're just doing a trial of workflow, and it could include SMS and email and voice drop. Another thing, if you really want to get fancy, AI agents are great. You have to spend time training them, but AI agents would be a great thing. Or if you want to just keep it simple, create a GPT. So many different things that I find that most small businesses don't have. The social media, that takes it to another level, but they're like, oh, I'm not really on social media, so that's not really a priority for me. So I try to think of things that they would consider a priority, and that would definitely be communication. Also, the forms and the surveys and the reputation management is another thing that you can do. Prior to this, I would work with someone that would say, hey, do you want a review for your business? And that's a great thing, you know, getting reviews for people's reputation. If you check their Google My Business, most of it is terrible. They don't have updated posts to it. They don't have enough reviews. They're not responding to the reviews. If someone gives them a 5-star, they don't respond. Someone gives them a 1, they don't respond. You know, even if you get a 1, you have to reply back and you know, say something. They're not doing that. So that's a big one right there, that there are people that that's their business. That's all they do, is help you with your reputation online. They help you fix your Google My Business, and they charge like, I don't know, maybe $500-600 a month to post 2 times or 3 times a week on their Google My Business. So there's so many different things in different areas that you can help a small business with, especially with that digital profile. Like if you think about electricians and plumbers, technicians, they're just going out there doing the work. In the back office, they may have one person, and it may be their wife that's overwhelmed because they got 2 kids on their hip, and they're just trying to, you know, like make it work for their business, keep their family together. And if someone can swoop in and automate everything so the mom can focus on taking care of the kids and maybe checking in once a week for a few minutes to make sure it's running smoothly, wouldn't that be worth a lot of money to them? Right? Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. One more
Melanie.
question.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. Yes. Go ahead, Alfred.
yeah,
We
so
got time.
you had mentioned that you go for clients that are like in the $5 million range. Is that like standard, or is there a reason you said 5 million?
Well, the reason why I do that, because they struggle the most, they have the biggest bottleneck, right? Because they may make 5 million, but they come home with 50K per year. And that's because a lot of it is expenses on the other side, and they have employees that pay health insurance, 401k, and all of that stuff can be, you know, sort of eliminated now that we have AI. And, you know, like that's why folks, if you're working a regular job, 9 to 5, AI can do 90%. Last I looked, and that was what, November, December, 90% of jobs out there. They can do software development. They can do so many things that not even a year ago it was that advanced. And every day it gets better and better. So your job, sorry, it won't be replaced, but there'll be fewer and fewer people in that position. And ultimately, it'll be that one person, which is just navigating all of the AI agents, right? And so you'll have AI agent CEO, AI agent CFO, AI agent, you know, for marketing, AI agent for social planner. And then that one person that's sort of the project manager, they're managing all of those agents to make sure it's not going off the rails. But you only need one person to manage, you know, maybe 10, 20 AI agents, whereas that was 20 people that were the head of that department, and then they had maybe, you know, 10 people underneath them, and then all those 10 people maybe had an assistant. All of those people are gone. Where are they going to? Hopefully learning AI so that they can see a future, right? And there's so many things that AI is just going to create a whole new ecosystem. You know, it'll be different jobs, but if you're not on the cutting edge right now learning this is the year you will be left behind. Remember Tower Records? And I know I'm showing my age, but Tower Records is this big you know, music store in New York. It was like the go-to everything music. You play guitars, you could go in the studio. They had so many vinyl. They felt like they were untouchable, like Blockbuster, and they were gone. Soon as Napster, that little 18-year-old kid came around, the 18-year-old kid came around, created Napster, boom, Tower Records out of business. All of those people out of jobs, right? And so, you know, I'm not trying to scare you, right? I'm not even trying to sell anything right now. I just really want you all to know AI is really something that you should learn, okay? All right. So, Melanie, I can't hear you, Melanie.
I always forget about that mute button.
We've been doing this since what, 2020? We still can't get it right.
I just want to say I love your story, love your energy and everything else. And
Thank you.
it was perfect timing that I'm here. So I am trying to create my offer around the AI agents. So it's perfect that I can just piggyback what you just said. I am still learning Go High Level, but I realize that a lot of my warm market is real estate agents. So I am going to lead with the email funnel. But in the Go High Level, should the AI agents be the lead part of it or just a bonus part? And then second part, should I assume they are also in Go High Level and use that as I can manage their Go High Level and build the AI agent out of Go High Level, or am I building that somewhere else, if that makes sense?
Oh, yes. So I'll show you another thing. While I'm talking, let me pull it up. So what I would do for the AI agent, I would make it as a bonus, right? Start with the email or whatever first, and then I would make that as the bonus, because AI agent is really involved. You have to spend a lot of time training it, a lot of testing, and it's not something easy to. I mean, it can be, but for the most part, I would just add it as a bonus. Get them started with a quick win, and that's with the email workflow. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to answer your question by showing you, like, I'm a visual person. I'm a hands-on learner. That's why I like to teach hands-on. So what I did was create a CRM based off of Go High Level. So Go High Level has it that you can white label your Go High Level if you get a certain, if you're at a certain level. So I white label Go High Level. I created this website. I kept their video, right? So like no designer here, right? I am like all black everything because I'm colorblind. I could barely see. So I don't want to be out there looking crazy. Same thing with what I create, right? It's just really basic, simple. Again, using those images, those templates that Atena had. And all of this is really just based off of the concept of Go High Level that can do the two-way text messaging, the missed call text back, sort of fixing up the Google My Business, being able to pay right on a device. So all of this I created Go High Level. Now, you can have $97 Go High Level plan, but what I sweeten the pot with is I'm creating your sales funnel. I'm doing your workflow for you. Like I'm doing literally everything for you and the social media planning. So you could go ahead and get Go High Level for $9.97. But at the end of the day, after sending out certain emails and all of the fees and such, it still ends up coming out to being a significant price. Why not pay the $297? I do everything for you. And then you don't have to be concerned about waking up in the morning, forgetting that you have to do this and so forth. So not only did I create my website, create my sales funnels, created a new offer. I also, within those few weeks, created this CRM based off of Go High Level and decided that I was gonna, do their white label program. And now anything that I set up my client with, they're set up with my Fierce Flow 2X. Notice I name everything Fierce, right? That's like that's my thing. I name everything Fierce, but I would definitely do the AI agent as a bonus, right? And do the workflow. And as far as if they have their own Go High Level, that's okay. But what you want to do, and if you're doing real estate agents, you want to probably convert them over to Go High Level, because there is no CRM out there in the real estate world that can compete with Go High Level, right? Because you have the Google My Business, all your socials in one place. You have the text back, you have the automation, you have it, your domain, you have everything in one. It's like, I call it my battle station. The only thing I need to open up in the morning is my Go High Level, and everything is there that I need for the day. Now, I know there's Lion Desk, there's Top Producer, there's KV Core, which is crappy. There's so many different CRMs for real estate agents, but they don't do what Go High Level can do in one place. Like they all have bits and pieces of Go High Level, but they don't have the full package. So if you just sell them on the fact that they don't have what they need to come over. And sometimes it takes them a little bit a while to get it. And that's okay. Everybody doesn't jump on board right away. You got to really show them and not tell them. I'm not much of a talker. You'd be surprised. I'm very shy, right? I know you're like, you're right, Deb. You're going on and on and on, but I'm not. I'm extremely shy. I'm an introvert. By the end of the day, like when 10 o'clock comes, I just like to crawl up in the corner with a good book and read. That's what I do. But I realized that instead of being chatty, I open up my computer and I show them what I do for myself, what I did for my business, and then show them what I can do for them. And eventually, they convert. Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're much welcome. Nicole, my dear, what's going on?
Hello, I'm still working on my offer.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, how do I really, show them the transformation versus the tools, like in the language and when I'm communicating with them on calls, how do I really just talk about the transformation versus what the tools are and the
Remind me
systems?
again, Nicole, what your offer is.
So my offer is going to be similar to yours, but it'll be for online coaches and marketers, helping them to streamline their business, automate their business using AI workflows, email automation, social media content automation, and potentially selling them the CRM as well. So
cool.
instead of talking about all the features, I really just want to focus more on like the sales strategy part of it, because that's what I need to master, talking about the true like transformation that they're
So
going to get.
did you create like your whole structure for yourself, for your business? Like, do you have workflow? You have your sales funnel, you have your web page, you have your AP2 verifications all done?
No, I don't have everything done. I just joined the paid community last night, so I'm going to use it to
Congratulations.
thank you.
Awesome.
So I'm going to use all of that and redo everything.
Okay, so what you have to do is do it for yourself, right? Once you do everything for yourself, that's the best, right? That's the best testimonial. And that's what I did. Hey, I did it for myself. I changed my small business around by just setting up a workflow and it fired off. And then within, a few days, I getting calls about stuff that wasn't even related to what I was sending out. So you have to do it for yourself. You have to make the mistakes because better make the mistakes on your business structure inside than to make the mistakes when you're out there in front of the client. So I would, if you set up everything, soup the nuts for yourself, and you start sending out those workflows, you're going to start getting people checking in, do a meta ads. You can get people to, so you can model someone else, and then you can use that as your testimonial. I did it for myself. Look, this is what I did. This is where I was at in the beginning. And this is where I am now.
Okay, and just speak to the transformation for myself. The
For
burnout,
yourself.
instead of being burnt out, trying to do everything manually.
For yourself. That's really only what you can do unless you do it like I did. You went out and you just did it for free. That's my lead magnet. Like, and soon, like within a few months, I'm gonna get rid of meta ads because my lead magnet all on its own is so powerful above and beyond a meta ad going out there and fixing someone's biggest headache. That's my lead magnet. And then getting that testimonial and getting them to hire me to figure out everything else that they're stuck with. But your lead magnet really should be, try and demonstrate something small, doing an email workflow or do copyright for them. I can tell you small businesses, they don't have that all figured out. They really just, like I said, wake up in the morning, walk around in circles, figuring out one fire to the next. And by the end of the day, they didn't get anything done. And, they're really frustrated. And sometimes they like, I give up, right? So if you can come in and help them eliminate some of that frustration with just setting up a 7 or 14-day workflow with SMS, voice drop. That right there is golden for someone that has maybe like 20, 25,000 emails that they just collect for no
Okay.
reason, not
That
to
sounds
communicate,
good.
just figure they need it at some point, but they never do anything with it.
Do you also do their websites over?
I can. It depends. Like some people are just really stuck on a website, like, oh, this is the best thing ever. They start telling you how much they paid for it, and can you just tinker with what I already have? And I'm like, heck no, that thing is Blockbuster. That's Tower Records. That's fax machine. I'm not touching it. I wouldn't even begin to know how to do the code for that. I'm not a coder. I click
Right.
buttons and go high level. So
Yeah.
so I don't mess around with it, but they stuck with it and they're like, oh no, I'm not letting it go. So I leave that
Mhm.
alone. I do a sales funnel, right? Like, hey, we could do the sales funnel, but that website, I'm not messing around with something they built in 2001.
Right. Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Tatiana? Are you still around, or did I bore you? You went back to sleep with
Yes,
your baby.
I'm here. I'm here. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for such an interactive session, guys. If you have questions, just make sure to raise your hand. And I think we have just like about 20 minutes or so. And then Atena will
Okay,
also
cool.
come back for the Q&A, for a more deep dive Q&A as well. Yeah, well, Alfredo, you go ahead.
Yeah, you had mentioned that you'll do sales funnel for them. Do you include running ads for them also?
No, because I can create the sales funnel, I can create the meta ad, but they would have to pay for the ad, right? So I can't do a free sales funnel and then actually pay for their ads. I can model the meta ad for them, just give them like a little snippet of what it would look like, but I don't go deep with meta ad. That's something that's really involved, and you have to spend a lot of time with the analytics and trying to model the perfect ad so that you can keep the cost per click down. And then that's something you have to monitor on a regular basis. So I don't go that deep with just doing the free. But if they decide to pay me, then absolutely, I'll go down a rabbit hole. Would I even mess with that 1990 website if they wanted me to? But initially I try and keep it simple with email workflow, sales funnel, SMS, the voice drop, all of those things, the social media planning. And that alone also is a really big win for the client, because if they don't have a presence on social media and then all of a sudden they became, and again, apologize folks, I keep using Atena as an example, but Atena, no one knew about Atena like in October, but all of a sudden Atena was like everywhere. I couldn't go somewhere without seeing Atena did this, Atena did that. She was omnipresent. And she even talks about that in the marketing course, like omnipresent, be everywhere. Tell your friends and family in the beginning, I apologize, but I'm trying to do something with my life, my career, and you're going to see a lot of my videos and a lot of my emails. If you either like them, share them, or buy something from me, or just ignore it if you're getting frustrated. And then put that disclaimer out and then blast it everywhere you can, all over the place. And with the tools that you have, you can do this quickly, not have to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, unless you're just sitting around, just keep thinking about what I'm gonna do, or, that's really the waiting period. But the tools to do it quickly, they're available, right? They're here.
Thank you.
You promise to execute, Alfredo?
Yeah, 100%. I actually
Okay,
have,
good.
I plan on having a meeting, or I do have a meeting with some lawyers this upcoming week, and trying to figure out exactly what I'm gonna package up for them. But yeah, they're on the schedule to meet next week.
Super duper. Very good. Proud of you.
Thank you so much. And Pete, you're next.
Yeah, hey, okay, so I'm fascinated by you. Great presentation. Taking a lot of notes. I wanted to ask you a little bit about creating, your AI agent. Is that something you did? Is that in Google Go High Level too, or did you do that outside? Because it sounds like I haven't started using Go High Level yet, but it sounds like you have the SMS service you can provide through Go High Level, the voice drop, and the social planning. That's all Go High Level, right?
Yeah, and the social planning comment back. So if someone replies, let's say I write a post and I say comment fierce, if they respond fierce, the AI conversational agent will jump in the conversation and either add them to one of my workflows. So that's something that's possible with Go High Level. So the AI agent, thank goodness, Go High Level, when I started using Go High Level in January, they had that as a part of the package. Previous to that, I believe people had to go to Twilio to like buy a number, create AI agents, or some other complex, thing to get this AI agent working. But now, I think as of January, maybe last year, December, Go High Level had the AI agent inside of Go High Level. So everything is in there. You have the conversation AI, you have just, if you want the chat AI, that the little box on the bottom of your web page or funnel, they have that. They have a static AI, they have the phone AI. I use that to answer my calls. Armando, you can even tell him a joke, which I learned that from Alicia. Is she in here? I saw Alicia demonstrate in the free community her AI agent, and I was like blown away. She created this AI agent that was, telling jokes. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my AI agent tell jokes too. And he can tell jokes. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, AI agent is great, and it's only at the beginning stage of what it can do. As soon it'll be able to become call setters, right? So it can call out and set appointments for you, which is going to be great. I mean, it can set appointments inside of the chat, that little box on the bottom. But now, well, not now, but soon you'll be able to make phone calls, right, with this AI agent. So no, if anyone has a cold caller job, guess what? You're out of work, because the AI agent will start doing the cold calling.
So these AI agents are within Go High Level that you're building and
That way in
productizing.
Go High Level. Yeah.
Wow, very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
wow, you're amazing. Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I guess I got to
Yeah,
join Go
thank
High
you.
Level. Good
You
job.
gotta do Go High Level. Yeah, it has it all. That's a monster right there, and it's a lot to conquer in the beginning. Just take your time, do one thing at a time. Like do the workflow first. It's the easiest probably part. Then set up your calendar. Do little by little, and Antenna has like trainings on that too. If you want to just hop in there.
And I'll read a few questions from the chat, Deb.
Sure.
So Troy is asking, what keeps you motivated when everything is not going your way?
I have a coach. You need to hire a mentor. I have a coach. Atena is actually my mentor, and when I'm down, she picks me up, right? So you got to have a coach, someone that can lift your spirits up, because, and then your family. My family, they're amazing. Thank goodness somebody loves me. So my family is great. They love me. And they're always telling me that I'm doing great, I'm doing a good job, you're doing enough. And I'm always afraid I disappoint them. They feel as if, oh, you're just a dreamer, you're never gonna get anything. But they don't treat me like that. Thank goodness. So you have to have a coach, and you have to have really good connections, small circle, right? Not big circle. Big circle is not good, because then that green eye monster just squeezes its way in there. But small circle, be around people that love you, that care about you, have a coach or a mentor, even if it's not anyone online, right? In your community, whether it's maybe a religious leader, or, someone that like a former teacher, have someone that you can reach out to when you're having those down days. I get them all the time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And a couple of people were asking if they could have a sneak peek at your workflows and how you built them. I don't know if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. I'll drop my calendar link in the chat, and I'll give anyone a free strategy session. I could probably only do 15 minutes because my calendar is like crazy, but I'll give you 15 minutes, and I'll share a couple of things with you. And if you're needing any help with anything after that, we could talk about it. I actually do that
Fantastic.
right.
Thank you for this amazing opportunity, guys. Make sure you get this opportunity and have a chat with Deb so she can tell you more about what she's doing. Yeah, and one more question we have is, have you tried Page Wheel? Page Wheel. Chris is asking. Supposedly more AI enabled than Go High Level, but not sure if it's robust. I'll just pop the question back.
Not familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of tools coming out, so yeah, you know, but we feel like we've been using Go High Level a lot, and it's honestly the best. So we would just probably recommend you not to spend time exploring other things for now. Just go all in to Go High Level. It has everything you need, honestly. And you see with Deb is just mastering the foundations and basics and just providing those basics, very robust basics to the businesses is what really, really a lot of people need help with. So if you just do that, you'll be amazing. And Melanie asks, any idea what the base minimum to charge client for email funnel?
So, I mean, it depends. It depends on how, if you're doing 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, it depends on the client, right? What level is the client on it? Are they just starting out? Are they a student? Are they a teacher, coach? So, click on the appointment. I'm gonna open up some more dates and times on my calendar so that I can fit everybody in the cracks of time. But questions like that, I would have to know more without everyone on the call knowing your business, if you know what I mean.
Fantastic. Very good. Okay, so I'm just chatting with Atina to see if she can hop back on because unfortunately she got stuck on another call.
Yeah, that's okay.
But yeah, we have a couple more minutes. If anyone has more questions, you're welcome to come and unmute yourself and to come on camera and share with us your experience as well, right? And what you guys are doing, that would be great.
Yeah, like this is definitely not the Deb show. I want everyone to like share their experiences, their wins, their disappointments. I'm getting ready to like open up my calendar so I can take in more folks.
Sounds good.
I have a question, actually.
Sure.
Well, first comment and then a question. Deb, I like your setup because you have this beautiful ray of sunshine behind you. So good job with that. Very theatrical. Love that. So
Thank you.
you may not have the answer to this question. So I have like my idea. It sounds like something you have done, which is you focused on the real estate, but now you're kind of having a note like a B2B option for AI services for any business, right?
Right.
Is that so? How are you
You got
marketing, separating that? Because I'm doing something where it's like a, executive branding, but obviously with the lab tools, we can do basically create our own AI agency. So how are you marketing those and how are you focusing your time on each of those?
So the secret with that is go old school, network meetups, networking, Chamber of Commerce, believe it or not. Your local Chamber of Commerce is a gold mine. Those folks in there, they don't know anything about AI. They don't know anything about email automation. If you go to your local chamber right now, you will be a superstar. They will, drop gold at your feet, right? And then you can give a class to them once a month, once a week. You can do a meetup, you can do Eventbrite, you can teach simple email workflow. I think I keep leaning in on email workflow because it's the simple way to get started right? And less of technology for you to learn. And it's such a need. Oh my goodness, it's such a need. But a lot of times we think we got to have YouTube, we got to have all of this social media, we got to have meta ads and stuff like that. But because folks are all focused on that, there's still opportunity, and it's small, but there's still opportunity right now to go old school. Like pick up the phone and do cold calling because AI agents can do that now, right? Not yet anyway. So it's a small window to join your Chamber of Commerce and they'll give you a directory. Matter of fact, they'll email you the entire directory with the names and emails and everything, at least some of them. And you call them old school. Just get on the phone and call them and tell them that you're coming out there to fix a problem for them, like one headache. And another way to do it is to help the chamber. They need help. Like Chamber of Commerce, that's such an old concept. They've been around for what, 60 years, if not more. And more folks are going to like Skool communities or communities like this, to network, or other places online to network. Most people are not thinking about going inside in person in real life to a chamber breakfast at a golf club, which I did. That's why I'm bringing that up. I did that the other day. The food was so good. Oh my goodness, the breakfast was really good. Um, but it was a golf club, and they had this really big breakfast. And unfortunately, it was somebody already there that was the AI expert, but he was really shy and introvert. So I'm just gonna dazzle them with my personality to win the business. But anyway, I just walk in the room and talking to, and they didn't know anything about AI. They didn't have any type of system for their emails, and the chamber itself, no clue about AI, none at all. So they was excited, and so I'm teaching a class now on AI and automation because not only do they want to learn, but they want the other members to learn. So right there, um, that's secret sauce. I'm giving it away free, right? Go and join your local chamber of commerce, and you'll be surprised how much business you'll be able to get out of that, because they need help, right? And the whole idea is to help, right? You want to remember I said health, wealth, and making an impact. If you can make an impact with your chamber, they will be so grateful for you, that laying out the red carpet for you, introducing you to people. And I didn't realize they like do introductions at the chamber. They're like, hey, this such and person came and asked me for help, and I'm going to introduce you to them. So, hey, just do old school, Chamber of Commerce. Then maybe you want to do meetups. Like I do a meetup every Wednesday. AI in real estate is pretty popular. I have 100 or plus members. That's something I did in the very beginning, was working on, those 7 days. Atena had a class about cold outreach, and that one was in there. She used Eventbrite, I think, giving seminars on Eventbrite. I did Meetup, and Meetup is all across the world. That's an international organization. There's a Meetup for everything. There's a Meetup for like dog meetups, not just your regular yoga and all that stuff, but like walking trails and history. It's very interesting. Good people though, very nice people, and I do that once a week. And I realize that there are people that buy all the meetups from other folks that have meetups that just died or fell off, and they give this one big meeting once or twice a week. And I joined one. It's like a real estate investment meetup, and they have like maybe 60, sometimes 80 people on the call. And I talk about AI, and they are blockbuster all the way. Oh, they like, oh, what about the security? Oh, I wouldn't recommend anybody do that. Take your spreadsheet out, do your spreadsheet. And I'm like, spreadsheet? Like what? Like you could do that in AI, and you could connect the GPT to the tax liens, and then they could do the scope of work and all of that in one within seconds. And they're talking about spreadsheet, but they won't embrace it and say no. The leader of the group is an attorney, and he says it's just like AI is compromised. So These kind of groups you can infiltrate though. You can infiltrate because they have like these breakout sessions, and you can dominate the breakout session because then the leader is not in there anymore. And then you can talk about AI and tell them, meet up with you offline, and you can explain to them how they could connect all of this stuff without having to have a spreadsheet. Right, Atina? When is the last time you opened a spreadsheet?
I know. I don't know. I want to mention about two genius tips when it comes to meetup, as the Deb was talking about it. One thing that you guys could do is this. You go and join all of these meetup groups in your area that is about marketing, business, sales, AI, all of that. And then keep an eye on, there's going to be a point that a lot of these meetup organizers, they drop because they lose hope on entrepreneurship and they don't want to continue paying monthly. What happens that they step down? When they step down, the meetup automatically send an email to all the members, say who wants to step up to become the organizer to take over this meetup group. Otherwise, the whole group gonna be shut down. And then when you receive that email, you instantly go take over that meetup group for free. Someone that has spent years to build that meetup group, it become yours for free. Absolutely genius tip. Like, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, so many of these people closing down a meetup group. You just need to be as many as them and keep an eye on it. Number two thing that you could do is that to go to those meetup group and build a relationship with the organizer and try to get a public a speaking gig in the group. And you're gonna say, hey, like I'm in AI. Can I just like give so much value to the members? I just do an AI presentation and say, yeah, of course, why not? Then you're going to be all of a sudden in front of a group of 30, 40, 50, depending on how big that meetup groups are. And that's how you can get the clients for free. You can get your branding out there. So meetups is very good. That's how I started myself. That's how I know about these tips. And this is one of the things, right? Like Deb knows about that. Meetup group and Eventbrite, of course. Eventbrite cheap leads are very, very cheap. When I was doing webinars, when I started my business, I was getting like as cheap as 50 cents per registration for webinar in the Eventbrite. That was ridiculously cheap. I'm not saying the quality of them was as good as Facebook. Facebook, I was always getting better quality leads. However, with how cheap it was, is also good to fill up the room. So you don't want to have a webinar that you only have 5 people attend because this is not very nice. But with the Eventbrite, you can get a lot of low quality leads that they're not necessarily going to buy from you, but it's going to build a credibility because all of a sudden you have a webinar with 100, 200 attendees. And people are going to say, oh, she must be someone. She's got 200 people in her webinar. But they don't realize that 150 of them are low quality, 20-cent leads from the Eventbrite are looking for freebie. But that's the thing. Like this genius tip, guys, take advantage of it. Use it. The 3 tips that I gave you, go and execute it now. So yeah, thank you, Deb, for bringing it up. So I could actually elaborate about how they can take advantage of Eventbrite and Meetup.
Absolutely. Yeah, so did I silence the group? Everyone went back into their shyness? Or did I give too much information? That happens sometimes too. You get overwhelmed. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I just want you to execute, right? So the simple thing to do is just to do an email automation. That's simple. Join your chamber, join a meetup. You got to do old school ways right now because it is difficult to infiltrate the digital space because there's so many people out there going in that direction. It's a small window. We won't have much time because the chambers, they'll be gone within, matter of, months, maybe even. But you can get in there now, scoop up all the business from those that don't know anything about AI, even the chamber itself, to help them grow and start cold calling. Don't be afraid of the phone. Just get out there. Worst thing people can say is no, right? And so really want you all to get like motivated to do something. Don't really overthink what you need to do. Just go out and do something really simple. I hope I was really helpful. I would love to meet with you all, but only have a limited time because my calendar is book. So you can click on my calendar link. I open it up. You can, select the time that's best for you. I can give you some more information that's more personal to your situation, so you're not blasting all of your business all over this, right? I give you something that's more personal to your individual situation. hopefully it will help you, and then we can take it from there. You know, I also do done for you options. If you don't want to mess around with Go High Level, I can do done for you. I'm like probably this close from becoming Go High Level certified. I'm that obsessed with Go High Level that I went ahead and started studying for the certification exam, because I'm just like so excited of what it can do. And I want to make sure I'm utilizing all of its features so that I can help all my clients. And I can do it in a faster way, efficient way, and things of that nature. So I guess that's all I have. My energy, I'm going back to be introvert and be shy like you all, and go in my you know, in my corner and read my book. Actually, no, I have a school board meeting. I also use like AI and stuff to compete to win the school board. It's really interesting. I put an account for my vote for Deb, and I feel like I'm smashing my competition. We'll find out next week. Next week if I win. But you know, there's so many things you can do. Like you can, you know, help your organizations that you're with, you know, practice, set up an account for them and get them set up in Go High Level. And then while you're doing that, you're learning for yourself. And then remember, health, wealth, and impact, you're also making an impact on your friends, your family, and your community. And what better way to be like so evolved like that? It's just a great feeling when you wake up in the morning, you feel like, you know, you have a purpose. You're not walking around sad all the time and disappointed or, you know, depressed or anything like that. You have something to uplift you. And if it's banging away trying to make, you know, your community better, why not? If it's trying to help a small business that's struggling, why not? You know, try and wake up and immediately go to work. Don't do those like 4 hour morning routines. That by the time the 4 hours is, you're like so tired. You're like, I did yoga, I did Tai Chi, I did my lemon water, and then like, oh, I have to take my walk and I have to do this and write in my journal. And by the time you're like exhausted, it's already so much. You don't really want to get to work. Just wake up, go straight to work, and then in the middle of the day, do all of the other stuff. So those would be my those would be my last words. I'm glad I was able to get you laughing, Peter. I really appreciate that. I'm glad to see you smile, Mary. I hope things are going great for you. I was really nice talking to you before. Anything else we have to cover? Any last words?
Any question, guys? Just put in the chat, how much did you learn today from 1 to 10? 1, I didn't learn anything. 10, I've learned so much. Put in the chat. Oh, wow, that's a lot of zero on there. We got 10, 100,000, 10, 10,
Why don't I see any?
Jessica,
Oh, I gotta scroll
Alfredo,
down.
amazing, great.
Oh, look at those zeros. All right. Thank you,
Oh,
Melanie.
that's zeros,
That's
millions.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Millions. I like
Amazing.
that.
You are such an inspiration, Deborah, to the community. Thank you for being you.
Yeah,
And
sure.
you know, for believing in your mission, for showing up, and you just, you know, you're not unstoppable. You just keep going. Every time I
Yeah.
step on something, like same day she goes send me the link, this is done. It just the speed of implementation, this lady is insane. Speed of limitation. And that's what makes a difference in entrepreneurship. Get rid of the perfectionism and just execute, right? And you never know. I had a coaching with Ty Lopez yesterday. He's my coach now, and I learned a lot from him. Then I said, "Can you check my webinar? Because I'm about to make it live. Do you like the hook?" And he said, "What does it matter? You just go launch it. We know that the hook is good or not from your result." This was his answer to me. He said, "What does it matter? We know the answer once the result come up to see what is ROI we're getting and what sort of the cost per click we're getting." And it's like, it's just, you never know these things until you test it. You never know. Like, don't get too caught up on these details of, oh, you know, this is good, this is bad. Like, just go launch it. We launched this webinar funnel less than 12 hours ago. With only $100 budget, we got 70 registration. This is insane. I didn't expect that. It's insane. $100, 70 registration. So what happens if you spend $10,000? We're gonna have thousands of people into the webinar funnel, right? And there's an interesting thing that when I was doing webinars last year, it was the last webinar I did like 4 or 5 months ago. It took us like 3-4 days to get to 70 registration. In the first 3 hours of launch, 70 registration. Why? I think it just AI has become hotter. People are hungry to learn about AI. People are hungry. It's just getting hungrier and hungrier. Like 6 months ago, people were still thinking, oh, you know what? It's still too early. I'll do it when everyone is jumping. I know we talk to people, and then sometimes I say, why did you make you to go into AI or want to learn AI? It's because all my friends are learning AI now. And people have started realizing people around them are learning AI, and I have to do it. So they started creating scarcity. Now the AI topics are super, super hard, right? And don't overthinking. And one thing that I would encourage all of you, you're gonna say, I'm not good enough, I don't know enough. Things that you guys know in this community is more than 99% of people in the world. You think that things that you know everyone else knows, but that's not the case. People don't even know how to use ChatGPT, but they don't even use ChatGPT. Then you're gonna say, oh wow, like I know a lot. Like you guys, especially the mastermind group, the things that you guys are learning is so advanced. You're 99% ahead of everyone else. 99% ahead of everyone else. You could literally go launch a webinar and just teach them about whatever that you learned in this group, and at the end sell any offer. Just don't overthink it. Just put yourself in this position, and all of a sudden you're gonna realize, what? Oh my gosh, I all of a sudden got client. I all of a sudden sold far. Like what just happened? What just happened is because you took action. Just don't overthink it. Like launching a Facebook campaign takes no time, guys. We teach you about this in this group. Building a funnel, just plug it in our snapshots. Plug it in our snapshot, change the copy using the lab, launch that funnel. Look at Alfredo. He launched it like 7 days in like first week. All of a sudden he got 250 leads. I think Alfredo, you were shocked yourself. You didn't expect that, right? You can unmute yourself.
I said, yeah, I was wondering, what am I gonna do with all these leads? They came pretty quick. It was
You didn't
surprising.
Yeah, here we go, right? And then people say Facebook advertising doesn't work. Facebook advertising doesn't work. It is guy Alfredo, 100% brand new to this marketing and to this digital space. First week, 250 leads. Mina, he's 100% new. He's a tradie. Second day after his Facebook advent launch, he got his first client. Look at our webinar funnel launch 12 hours ago, 75 registration. And then they say Facebook ad doesn't work. It does work. You just need to launch it. The reason that it doesn't work is because, you don't know how to do it. Do you need to leave?
Peter said he has to go.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Pete. So yeah, I always suggest that just take action, go launch that. Freaking whatever you have in your mind, just launch it. Do not overthink this and that.
Thank you, folks. If you need my help, book a call. I can give you some tips and I can look more into what you're doing, give you some good ideas. But I have to run off to make that impact, right? So
Deborah, do you
thank
mind to
you.
pop the link to your strategy call again in the chat?
Yeah, sure.
So we pop the link again, and thank you. Amazing. All right, thanks again, everyone, for today, and we'll see you next week. Cheers. Thank you,
All
Deborah.
right, folks.
All
All right, stay fierce.
Thank you. Bye.